All right, hello everybody. My name is Ken King and I'm the founder of Boost Innovation, and we've built the FLW Software alongside our partners at Adaptive Immersion Technologies to measure sport-specific IQ and to help understand deeper insight into the cognitive aspects of performance, far different than a simple personality test offers, in order to make sure that athletes fit into the culture of your team and that you can use very specific cognitive performance aspects to guide their training and individual performance plans, how you structure team practices, and other factors that we know are important. So what I'd like to do here today is just briefly walk you through what the user experience looks like when you access our software. And as you can see here, we're using one that we use for a pitch with another client. And we structure each software to be branded and built in the way that best serves the team or the department or the organization that we're working with at the time. So we would log in and we can simply type in our name here. And as we move from this first screen to the next screen, this is where we get into the sport-specific IQ portion of the assessment. So here we would watch a brief clip that you provide or that we source on our own. And in that clip, we build an evaluation based on what you would like to happen next, based on the systems, tactics, and strategies that you run with your team. As we move through, we can put in as many or as few of these video assessments as you would like in order to assess the specific things that you want for your program. Generally, what we ask is that you keep it for the initial assessment to things that you really believe are fundamental to the success of that athlete's performance on the court, on the field, on the ice, etc. As we continue to go through here, we then get into the more cognitive performance-based assessment questions. So here we would have about 100 questions. It doesn't take that long, that are designed in partnership with Adaptive Immersion Technologies and that they use in their assessments with the United States military. Because of that, these questions are far, far beyond what personality tests has to offer, because it's not necessarily a personality assessment. It's more an assessment of the cognitive capabilities of an athlete in the moments where they have to perform in the sports setting. And I'm going to walk you through after this what our actual output measures look like. So you can see here that each of these questions are generally structured in a disagree or agree format, and it's pretty much impossible to cheat this evaluation or to make it where you're trying to answer the questions in a way that makes you look quote unquote good for the coach or the evaluators that are looking at you. The algorithms that underlay this assessment are actually designed so that it's pretty much impossible for some of the highest, smartest minds in the military to cheat. And so we have no concerns about people being able to really structure this assessment into the results that they want as a participant, because all the questions are connected in order to evaluate the responses beyond just that single question, which we see typically in many assessments these days. And so there are no concerns there. Excellent. So like I said, I also just want to share what the reporting from the FLW software actually ends up looking like after you've completed it when we send the reporting back to you. So we can see up here are 8 key areas of output that we give to every athlete and the team on average: our implicit team coordination, learning goal orientation, maximum typical performance, concentration, cognitive interference resistance, performance goal orientation, action orientation, and altruism. And so all of these areas are areas that when they're high, we're really starting to see a higher level of performance the higher that the score is. And obviously opposite when they get a little bit lower. You can also see directly below that here, we have a couple tactical scores based on the video assessments at the beginning, compare between the individual athlete's tactical IQ and the team average tactical IQ. Now, we oftentimes encourage this assessment to not just be done once, because we want it to be more of a test, retest, to measure the growth and learning that's occurring both for the individual about themselves in terms of some of these key cognitive performance scores at the top, our 8 output areas, as well as our tactical output measures based on what the team's running. So usually what we'd like to see is pre, mid, and and end of season evaluations that show the change. We also prioritize based on what that team is looking to have more of, or what the needs of that particular organization are. Here's 3 areas of improvement and some action items or ways to build those. Now, we can work with coaches and leadership in order to tweak or adjust these. We've given some examples here, and they're not always just the lowest scores, because they do need to align with the values of the group that we're working with in terms of what they need more of. So we try to make sure that the ones that we're giving as the 3 primary areas of improvement are things that will most enhance those cultural needs of the group that we're working with at the time. In addition to a report like this, average and an overall report is also provided to the leadership so that they can see where the group is as a whole, and that can guide individual performance plan development, team training plan, season planning, and much, much more.